right. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here doing an
Offsite, live
performance here of Metrics and Mayhem.
live.
Dom, where are we at right now?
At the Legacy Club in Cherry Hill, New Jersey,
Beautiful
formerly
Cherry.
known as Woodcrest Country Club.
This is an absolutely incredible location. We are in the back of Randall's Restaurant right now, and Dom is here participating in a Swing It and Dig It golf event.
Swing and Dig It golf tournament sponsored by iHeartRadio and Fox Sports Philly. My buddy Jeff Moore from iHeartRadio is the man in charge of this event, and it's a lot of the Philly sports people are here. John Clark, Barrett Brooks, Harry Mays. It's a who's who of Philly sports radio.
And Metrics and Mayhem.
And Metrics and Mayhem. We're a part of it.
We're hobnobbing with the crew, but Dom had this worked out perfectly where I pulled in with all my stuff, and Dom's name's getting announced for, I missed it. What was it?
Long drive and putting.
I thought they were towing your car. Long drive and putting. It's quite a dichotomy, wouldn't you say?
Everything in the middle sucks, but those two things are good.
Man. That's awesome. And so Dom is actually, might have to break for a minute with Dom heading out to compete in both events, right?
In both events, yep. Yeah, playoffs.
So that's very, very cool. And while we're on, can you tell us like what this actual golf competition is for? Like, are they fundraising for anything?
Yeah, for Magical Mila's fundraiser. It's I don't know the exacts of it, but obviously I think there was a child named Mila, and she had diagnosed with some form of cancer and passed away. It's always something where you have to raise money, awareness for the disease, and also for the family. So it's like one of those things, kind of like the lemonade thing.
Alex Lemonade.
So Magical Mila fundraiser, and it's a great event. I mean, they do a really good job here. They get a lot of people, and it's a good cause. So I always try to support as much as I can.
Like you were saying to all the celebrities that are here, but even just walking around, I mean, this is the place to have it. It's just a beautiful layout that not being captured by the camera. We're indoors right now, but outside, it's an incredible scene out there. While we're on golf, one of our first topics that we're going to get to on this episode is the review of the Scottish Open, which the Metrics and the Mayhem, as you would expect with such rivals, go out to the bitter end. The Metrics prevail by a half of a point. Reason being that the Metrics drafted 6 golfers that were playing in that tournament, and turns out the Mayhem, in true Mayhem form.
It's the most accurate thing that I do.
Yes.
Is that I'll draft my team and just not look at it after that. Now, I don't even care who's playing. If your name's on the draft sheet and I like you, I'm picking you. And if you don't play, that's your fault, not mine.
But you did have the high golfer out of the tournament with Colin Morikawa playing great golf, heading into the Open Championship too. We are going to make lineups. Did you make your lineup for the Open Championship?
I did not, but I will.
All right, so we'll get that in.
Hopefully, I'll get 6 golfers this time.
Yes, 6 performing golfers. That would be nice. I don't know what happened to your boy, but that's going to happen.
But listen, I mean, I would feel ashamed to only win by a half a point when I was one less golfer. I mean, I would feel some sort of way about. Listen, a win's a win.
A win is a win.
It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. A win's a win.
That is exactly
But I would feel
right.
some sort of shame.
Yes. None whatsoever here by the Metrics,
zero.
because we see ones and zeros. It's all binary over here, so that's why it works.
Names on the trophy. That's all that matters.
Last week you updated us with baseball talk. Why don't you go ahead and give me some good with the baseball happening right now.
We're at the All-Star break now for Major League Baseball.
Best time of the
year. Phillies really went out with a bang in the first half. Had a bullpen game.
We got healthy, right?
We got healthy. We got a lot of guys back. We're going to get JT Realmuto back at the end of the All-Star break, hopefully.
Did you see? Sorry to cut you off, but did you see the Phillies go to the Little League World Series?
I did.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I absolutely love
just
that.
being able to get out there and have your heroes, because pretty much everybody who does those Little League World Series is Pennsylvania-based.
Yes.
So the Phillies and Pirates are probably most of the kids' heroes, and to have those guys come out there.
That?
I mean, yeah.
And did it right too, like with the bright red. They're not trying to hide in the background. Like they're up and they're doing it.
And these guys really get it when it comes to interacting with the kids, rather than when we were kids and Darren Dalton would be like, "Hey, what's your mother's number?" So these guys know what they're doing.
Lenny Dykstra, great with the kids. Very nice.
Give me your number, sister's number. She's got a great ace.
So all good things happen in baseball, but we are on the All-Star break. Surrounding the All-Star game, the only 2 days of the year where there is not a professional sports game by any of the 4 sports. Those are the 2 games of the year, the 2 days of the year.
The fact that you don't consider the Home Run Derby a professional sports event.
An actual game, an actual match between 4 major sports
teams.
It's
an event, so I enjoy I think.
Do you enjoy the Home Run Derby?
I think Major League Baseball does the best All-Star game.
Really? Okay. Why do you say that?
Because it's an actual game. They try.
You don't think they try in the basketball game?
No, 197 to 212. No, I don't think they try.
I think the total got to 400 this past year.
There is a level of trying because they only got to go try for an inning.
Yes.
So there's so many all-stars, they only try for an inning, so they actually give a shit.
Do you like all of the matches, like the home run derby,
Yes.
any of the skills competitions?
The home run derby, the celebrity softball game. I think Major League Baseball does All-Star Weekend the best.
Aside from the game, 3-point shooting contest, dunk contest, does that do anything for you? But not here?
Maybe the dunk contest, but again, it's never the names that you want to see.
Yes, okay.
It's always just like random guys. Who if LeBron and Kevin Durant were doing the dunk contest, sure.
Okay.
I'd want to watch that, but it's always Zach LaVine and Laurie Markkinen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who cares?
Laurie Markkinen.
Who gives a shit?
The dunk contest, man.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Devin Booker, I don't care.
And the hockey as well. Like, I actually kind of, the skills competition for hockey is okay. I can deal with that a little bit.
I'm just in it for the hardest slap shot.
Yeah, okay.
That's it. That's all I care about.
All right. But that said, we are on break baseball season-wise, coming up for the second half, and also obviously gearing up for football season. One of our other segments that we're going to get into, last week we started our movie bracket challenge,
yes,
where I was tasked with watching 2 sports movies. Dom called it sports bracket, so 2 movies that I haven't seen before, and they were Rudy and Field of Dreams. And I did my homework. I watched both of them. Anything you want to come out of the chute? Anything you're looking for feedback-wise from the movies?
I'm just looking to see, like, I'm shocked you watch 2 movies in a week. I mean, so kudos to you for committing to that.
I have absolutely committed.
But yeah, I'm really intrigued on where you're going to go with this one because I think these are 2 movies that are very equally matched.
Well, and evenly themed too.
Evenly themed, yeah.
I mean, these are 2
little older movies. It's not, it's back when I think cinema was more about the storytelling rather than the action.
Definitely a storytelling moment. 2 people who were definitely chasing after their dreams and willing to cut whatever they had to go get their dreams.
Yep.
It was an interesting look at parenting in the 90s as well, right? I mean, I think it's important for kids nowadays to realize that, I mean, for us anyway, we cater to our kids a lot over at our house, right? And the whole thought of Rudy going to his dad and saying, I'm going to go to Notre Dame. You're not going to Notre Dame. Like, that just wouldn't happen at 12:05.
No.
It was a very different thing.
I don't think it would happen in this generation.
Just in this generation, right? So I think it was an interesting watch to realize, you kind of forget about what you came through and what you experienced. So it kind of brought back some 90s parenting, just even themes of the era as well. I was really shocked that so many sins were committed in Rudy.
And what are those?
Well, I mean, we've got definitely trespassing, right?
Trespassing, yeah.
You should honor your father and mother. I don't see that much of that happen. You shouldn't covet thy neighbor's things. And
thy brother's
brother's wife,
girlfriend.
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm watching this movie about the University of Notre Dame, and I was kind of baffled by the amount of.
Hey, listen.
Let's call it.
All you got to do is just ask for forgiveness in the Catholic.
Apparently
faith.
so.
So that's pretty much it.
The priest, the head priest, was kind of cool, but yeah, a lot of that going on.
You know who the real MVP of that movie was?
Who was it?
The groundskeeper.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Tremendous speech at the end, right before he's about to quit. Great moment there. If I can only take one of the 2 movies, though, I'm going to have to push Field of Dreams into the next round. Field of Dreams, and it was the end, right? The moment when he asked his dad to have a catch. Man,
I still cry.
I cried. And then I saw him get a baseball and a glove, and I'm like, you ruined the damn movie. If that were a football, you would have had me. But no, in all seriousness, 2 very good movies.
Yeah.
I think it would have hit harder had I seen them earlier in life. But for our bracket challenge, those of you playing along online, and thank you for all your comments, people hopping in on the votes. We're going to get a little bit more of that happening. The movie advancing to the next round will be Field of Dreams.
And I think that's the right call.
Oh, is that right?
I do think
you would
that's
pick the
right
same?
call.
All right,
I
very
think
good.
Field of Dreams is better than Rudy. I think it has a better touching ending than
Absolutely,
Rudy does.
yes.
I mean, it's cool when they lift Rudy up off the field, but you knew it was going to happen.
Yes.
You knew that he was going to get his moment. You knew it was going to happen. In Field of Dreams, it was a build all the way to the end, and then, hey, Dad.
But it was abrupt, right? I felt Rudy kind of it cut off right there, and then there was no more to the story.
Exactly.
Right? And all that he gave up. There's so many people in that story that are hurt by him leaving.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner, at the end, I mean, it's all family-based. It's all there. So,
I
anyway.
was choking on a hot dog.
Man, and then he can't go back, Dom. He can't go back.
He can't go back.
You got to make that choice, and he does the right thing, and he crosses over. Oh, man.
Yep.
So, I do think that the amount of... Is selfishness the word? when you're chasing your dreams,
You have to be selfish.
there's a selfish degree
Yeah.
to it, and I think it's tough for somebody like me to relate to people going that far beyond. I have a tough time being that selfish of things. I would kind of put myself back. So interesting to watch from both sides. I'm curious to see how it fares in future rounds, but we're going to move that through. Do we have two more?
We have 2 more, and these are going to be good ones because a little bit more along the lines. One's a comedy, and one's very serious, but it's a newer movie, so it's in the more modern era. We're going to go with Moneyball, another baseball movie.
Okay.
And White Men Can't Jump.
All right. So Moneyball and White Men Can't Jump.
Wesley Snipes, Woody Harrelson versus
I can't watch
Brad
that.
Pitt.
I can't watch that around Jen.
Versus Brad Pitt and what's the other guy's name? God, I forget. It's escaping me.
Spacing. Oh, isn't the real heavy guy?
Yeah.
He's
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I haven't seen either of those. That's going to be the next matchup this week. Hopefully they're not super long.
I got a feeling I know which way you're going to go with this.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I mean, we're judging this basic. Yeah, there we go, Jeff. Thanks for that, Jonah Hill. Very good. All right, so that's going to handle the movie bracket. Again, we'll have the polls out. Please hop in, get interactive with us. We love getting the feedback back and forth. Moving on, we've got. You want to do coach tiers or team tiers?
I like coach tiers.
All
Let's
right,
do
so
coaches.
we're going to move on. I put together a tier list for ranking the NFL coaches right now, and I know they got the ones where they got the funny names on the side. We'll eventually develop that, but just to kind of put these out there, and I'll lay these in front of you right now. I'll make this graphic nice when I do all the editing backstage. But that said, I feel like Andy's in a tier of his own.
Crazy to say that, right?
Right.
And now that Bill Belichick's gone,
Yes.
Andy is now the top dog,
Yes.
and he's the best coach, and it's a boat race because I don't think there's a close second.
I mean, doing my list, the closest I can get is John Harbaugh. And I have John Harbaugh in a tier all by himself.
Yeah.
So that's tier one, tier two. Tier three, we got a little bit more. I've got Mike Tomlin, I've got Kyle Shanahan, I've got LaFleur from Green Bay, and Dougie in my tier three.
All right.
Dougie inflated, obviously, because of the Super Bowl win. That's definitely going to help him out. Then we get into this next tier, which is a little bit larger. Sean Payton, who obviously in Denver, the team's terrible right now, but Sean Payton, Mike McCarthy. You're also going to have to talk about, where are we at here? Dan Campbell, Jimmy Harbaugh, Nick Sirianni, Zach Taylor, Sean McDermott, Kevin Stefanski. Any of these, like, we'll pause right there. Any of these that need to either move up, move down, anything doesn't seem right.
Well, I think Mike Tomlin should move up. I think Mike Tomlin, as a pure football coach, is wildly underrated.
A leader of men.
He's a leader of men, and he's just been hamstrung with just not having the right players. So I think if you
the right offensive coordinator.
and the right offense, I think if you put Mike Tomlin on any of the other teams that kind of like underachieved, they would be contenders consistently.
An Eagle team that loses out.
I think Mike Tomlin can get the more out of what Nick Sirianni got. I really think Mike Tomlin is a good leader of men.
Yeah.
So having him in tier 3 is appropriate, but if you moved him up, I don't think I'd have a problem with him.
Over Kyle Shanahan. Put him in a league above Kyle Shanahan.
I think Kyle Shanahan.
He needs to win one.
He needs to win one. Not only does he need to win one, but he needs to win one after like a rebuild, a collapse. Like, I think Mike Tomlin has shown that he can go through cycles and cycles of players and still maintain a level of consistency.
Yes.
And that's hard to achieve in the NFL.
And Jeff brings that up. Every Steelers fan hates it when you say that Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. And it's true. But at the same time, that sea of mediocrity for so many years. Obviously, he's got some plastic on him.
But again, it's like the Sixers when they would always get the 7 or 8 seed too. I mean, it's hard to say like, hey, listen, Mike Tomlin, you may have never had a losing season, but you've never had a contender.
Yes.
But is that his fault or is that the GM's fault?
Oh, it's the GM's fault.
Yeah.
Right?
So you can't really blame him.
Yeah, absolutely. Some terrible offensive coordinators like we were talking about too. So you're moving Tomlin up. To get to the Eagle point right now, I've got Nick Sirianni mixed in with a bunch. And I just have that C. Again, you got Sean Payton, Mike McCarthy, Dan Campbell, Jim Harbaugh, Zach Taylor, Sean McDermott, Kevin Stefanski. I can't necessarily pick one of these out of that crew, and especially have that be Nick. You got to go, or are you okay?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm fine with having Nick Sirianni in tier 4?
This is tier 4, yeah.
But again, like, if you wanted to put him in tier 5, I'd be fine with it too.
Do you take any of these coaches on the Eagles over Nick Sirianni.
I'll tell you what, there's somebody in Tier 6 that you have that I would take over pretty much every single one of the guys in Tier 5.
Oh, I'm interested to hear that.
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I know if our friend Greg was on this podcast, he'd have probably some words about Sean McVay. I just think.
Well, he actually gave me the nod, saying he was good with that one. But
yeah, so I think Sean McVay is an incredible talent.
okay. Somebody who I have down a little bit lower just because of the talent. You know, Sean McVay's losing Aaron Donald this year. That team is completely needing to rebuild, and I think the recipient of some exceptional talent, a brain nonetheless, but there's just not enough talent on that team to get him into this
That's
crowd.
not his fault as a coach, though.
Yes.
So when you have subpar talent, if you can, it's the Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin, it's
the Mike Tomlin. If you have subpar talent, you can still get the most out of them. You're a great coach.
Yes. But if the Rams go 7-10 this year, are they hanging on to McVay?
They should, but it's such a, what have you done for me lately in the league?
Oh, yeah,
They'll
absolutely.
probably get rid of him, and the team that picks him up will have success.
I mean, you blow Cam Akers' draft pick, you lose Cooper Kupp, again, not your fault, and then you lose Aaron Donald. How are you going to replace the greatest defensive lineman?
And your quarterback is old.
Very old. That's a team very much. I have him down for that. We could see if he can coach his way through that, but that would be an exceptional job.
Yeah, and listen, if he goes 8-8, that's a testament to coaching.
With that McVay crowd right now,
8, whatever.
yes, exactly. Mike McDaniels, Kevin O'Connell, D'Amico Ryans, Todd Bowles, and Shane Steichen.
I like D'Amico Ryans. I think he's going to do a great job.
Is he Tomlin Jr.?
I think he's not Tomlin Jr.
Okay.
Because Tomlin's a coach. D'Amico's a player who learned from great coaches.
Okay.
So I think Tomlin
A stronger player than Tomlin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Tomlin's the kind of guy that sees a project as and who is excited about coaching that person.
Yeah.
Tomlin would love superstars, but he wants to elevate guys that aren't superstars to that level. Where D'Amico Ryans, I think, would be able to lead superstars.
That's a great point you bring up. Do you think Tomlin can do that because he's won a championship? Like any coach that has the
I think
championship.
he just has that it factor.
Yeah, but if he never won,
Yeah.
right? Like if he never won a championship, do you think coaches have the moxie in the NFL to just be like in that, I just want to make people better, I want to make people better, and not need the trophy? Do you think that the trophy kind of validates that stance a little bit
I don't
more?
think it validates it, but it may validate in the eyes of the people he's trying to coach. It may not be for him.
Right.
I don't think he's intrinsically driven by, I have my trophy, I'm therefore validated.
The trophy's a byproduct of all the work we put in. And if you put in the same amount of work they did.
But it's a good selling point for the new players that come in who need that leadership.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving our way down to, I guess this would be Tier 7. Antonio Pierce, Brian Dable, Bobby Salah. You got Dan Quinn now in Washington. Eberflus in Chicago. Jonathan Gannon. That's a
Bobby
Dennis
Salah.
Allen. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I think we're getting to the funny
Drek.
words. Yeah, we're getting to the
Drek.
Drek. And then all the newbies. You got Mike McDonald in Seattle this year, Callahan in Tennessee, Dave Canales, who was Tampa Bay's offensive coordinator, Baker Mayfield got paid,
Yep.
and Gerard Mayo in New England.
It's crazy that Jim Harbaugh didn't have a single play yet called in his second run in the NFL, and he's already above half the league.
How could he not be?
How could he not be?
He's had a previous stint
It was successful, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, there's no doubt about it. So that is our NFL coaching tiers chat. And like I said, once we post this up, please feel free to get interactive. We've got our buddy Mike the Mouth coming in. Dom's shirt is, what do they call that?
Fuego. Yeah.
And Mike, it's tough to read your comment here, but it sounds like the commentary is also fire as well. It's a little blurry, but...
Mike, listen. Why don't you hobble on over to your fridge, get some brisket, relax, lower your blood pressure a little bit, and just enjoy the show.
And also make sure if you guys are hopping in on comments too, let us know if you think I made the right choice with Field of Dreams over Rudy, if you didn't hear that earlier on. All right, last topic we're going to get to on our podcast before we get out of here and go watch Dom Big Stick it out of the yard.
You got Sean Brace in the background just yapping it up.
Is that him?
Yeah, it's Sean, yeah.
NFL team tiers. We're going to get into that. Tier 1 are 2 elite teams, Kansas City and San Francisco. Tier 2, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Detroit, and your Philadelphia Eagles. Tier 3 will stop after this one. Buffalo, Dallas, the New York Jets, Houston Texan, Atlanta Falcon, Green Bay Packer, Miami Dolphin.
Yeah.
So we'll pause there. Anything seem out of line so far? Or?
It doesn't, and I think you're finally realizing that Josh Allen and those Buffalo Bills just do not have a winning pedigree. And if you paid attention to the things that I said last year, I wasn't knocking Josh Allen for his talent.
Yes.
He just can't win. He's not a winner.
Winning is a skill.
Winning is a skill.
That he
Winning
does
is
not
something,
possess.
yes. He does not have that skill. He is a taller, more attractive Kirk Cousins.
Pat Mahomes, winning is a skill.
Yeah, winning is
Pat
a skill.
Mahomes, winning is a skill.
I think Josh Allen probably has more talent than Pat Mahomes, but Pat Mahomes knows how to win.
Yes, that is definitely something. I mean, I feel like we have that too. I mean, I have all the skill in the world, yet just keep winning things.
But I'm in the playoffs.
But he is in the playoffs. That's right. Moving our way down, Tier 4, mid-range squad, almost making the playoff squad. Chicago Bear, LA Charger, LA Ram, Cleveland Brown, Jacksonville Jaguar, Indianapolis Colt. Dom, any of those?
Yeah, get Chicago out of there.
Not believing in the
We know this. I am not.
I'm going to keep peppering this in there. By the
You
way,
can throw Chicago in there all you want. Again, another franchise that is just a trash franchise. They can't win.
Winning is a skill.
Winning is a
right?
skill.
Winning is a skill.
They're the boomers of the NFL.
Heading to the next tier,
You get
Pittsburgh.
that, Mike? You get that, Mike the Mouth, you
Mike,
boomer?
we're talking to you. Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, Seattle Seahawks, New Orleans Saint.
Oh, I think I'm actually up now.
All right,
so
we're
I
getting
gotta
ready to
do
go.
a punting.
All right, well, let me go finish this up.
All right, I'll
Dom,
see you in a bit.
All right, I'll be out there in a sec. We're going to finish up. We're going to root Dom on while he goes out and plays. Finish up our last couple of tiers here, NFL-wise. Tier 6, Arizona, Minnesota, Las Vegas, and Washington. Tennessee, the Giants, Carolina, and Denver are Tier 7, and then lowly by themselves, the New England Patriots at Tier 8. So that's going to do it for our episode of Metrics and Mayhem over here live at the Legacy Club in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You're going to go out and root on Dom, and we will see you guys next week. Be sure to follow us on all the social platforms, and we look forward to all the back and forth. Thanks, everybody. Peace.